Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever around the world. My name is Sifu Bryan. I'm a non-friend man's conflict teacher with over 30 years experience. It is the 9th of April 2023. And let's get straight to my quote of the day. We have gold because we cannot trust government. Herbert Hoover. Such an appropriate quote for what I'm going to discuss today. It's all about the gold. And just to read a quote from Donald Trump, Trump says, the US dollar will no longer be the world standard. We're now seeing that with Biden. It's taken him, not that long to destroy the dollar and everything else, what he's come across. But it's such a shame because the dollar is no longer the go-to money to go to now. It's now the yen or the ruble. So Russia, China, their ambitions has always been to overtake the dollar, and it seems like now they have done that. And these countries are flourishing regardless of what this terrible media tells us. They're not speaking the truth. There are so many different sources out there that are showing us what's going on. The dollar is losing its value. In a lot of our countries, it's losing its value because they're just printing money. It's not backed by anything. That's why they said in January of this year, the banks had to be Basel IV compliant. We saw a lot of banks close, and at the moment, I think 173 banks worldwide, central banks, have closed. And I'm including the UK, the US, and all these other countries. Central banks have not been able to reopen again. But amidst of all this kind of upheavalness, a group of countries got together to form what they call BRICS, which the initial stands for BRICS, BRICS, which stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. These countries have gotten together to formulate asset-backed finances. So Russia is going with gold back. So they're trading their ruble, but it's backed by gold. The same with China. You've got Brazil, India. They are all flourishing. Regardless of what this fake media is telling us, these countries are flourishing. Remember, if you've got control of the media, you could sprout out any nonsense. But unfortunately for them, we have the internet. And the internet is showing us what's going on around the world. And even that they want to try and control. But unfortunately for them, it's not happening. We know what's going on. With all this upheaval, with all this, the closing of the economy, with their pandemic, to try and destroy the economy, to bring in their new world order, well, it's not going to plan, because in normal circumstances, because the US dollar is going down and all this, and the UK and so forth, and the European countries, it would have drawn in the whole world. But that is not happening, because these countries are now formulating an alliances amongst themselves, and they are going asset backed. They aren't relying on the dollar. The dollar is no longer king. These countries don't want the dollar. They say, no, take your dollar. You've got the Kenya president telling the people to drop the dollar. There's things happening. Our media is not, they're not covering this. They are not covering it. They are complicit. But anyway, now I'm going to name a bunch of countries, 40 countries that have gone with their assets back, and it could be anything. It could be gold, it could be silver, it could be diamonds, it could be oil, it could be um, um, gas, anything that is an asset. So I'm going to name you these countries. Forgive me if I muller some of these names, because I'm not used to saying some of these countries' names, but I'm going to try my best, all right? Okay, so we've got Egypt, we've got Afghanistan, Algeria, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Mexico, Nicaragua, you know what I'm saying, Bangladesh, Nigeria, Senegal, Thailand, United Arab Emirates, Argentina, Iran, Zimbabwe, Iraq, Cambodia. This is going to shock you. United Kingdom. Their asset back's going to be sterling silver. It's been said that they joined 2 weeks ago, but they're keeping it quiet. I don't know why, but this is what we've been told. Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Panama, Bolivia, Chile, Cuba, Ecuador, Peru, Uruguay, Venezuela. Oh my God, Venezuela. They deserve to be asset backed, because the amount of crime and corruption and the people has suffered in Venezuela through corrupt government after corrupt government, because these Illuminati or deep state people have put in their puppets as leaders, but they are going to go back. They really deserve it. Ajasban, you know what I mean, Mongolia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Turkey, wow, Germany. Now Germany, if Germany's gone with this, that means the Euros finish. It's finished. Texas has actually applied, which is massive. Now America's going to be a different thing, because what they're saying is that America's going to be broken up into states. So individual states can apply to the BRICS. They can apply for this, and we all know what Texas is going to be trading with. Oil. Oil will be their asset back. Oil. So this is massive. This is massive. That is why we want the whole planet won't be plunged into this loss of evaluations on their money, because they've already broken away. They're getting rid of the dollar. So the ones that are suffering is us, or us in the UK, even though they said we went like 2 weeks ago with this, but for whatever reason they're keeping it quiet. So we're still suffering with the high fuel costs and all that sort of stuff. America is suffering, and Europe is suffering. So I think there's still a bit of work to be done. I think eventually these countries will fall in line, because they'll have no choice. But the problem is with them, because they've been ruling for such a long time, it's going to be an ego thing. But they're going to have to come in line and so forth. The plan of the New World Order was to destroy all of our economies, to bring in their New World Order, to bring in their digital currency, for us to be reliant on that and be controlled by these people. That is not going to happen. What I think is going to happen now, and the conspiracy theorists have won again, is that they were talking about this 2 years ago, about BRICS and being gold back, but it's now being said it's acid back. So it's not just gold or silver, it's acid back. Gold, silver, diamonds, oil, gas, anything that has a value. So this is where we are at. The deep state is finished, which is good. These bankers, all these corrupt officials, all these top brass, they've been counteracted by, they say, the white hats, which brought in this gold standard. Because if it wasn't for this asset-backed system, every single country on this planet would have been in problems, and we would have been at the mercy of the New World Order. So, but there's still a long way to go, and there's still going to be quite a few battles to go through. But people, it's just for people to be strong. Start investing in gold, silver. I've invested in some gold and stuff. They say that if everything went to nil, they're not going to want our dollars. They're not going to want our pounds. They're going to want something of value, because remember, they're just printing money. Yeah, it won't be worth the paper it's printed on, because it's not backed by anything. But if you have gold or silver, shops will trade with you. If you've got a bit of gold, you could trade with them. It's going to be like going back to the days of old, where people were just trading, like, okay, I have a pig, you can take my, or I have a chicken, you take my chicken. For a period of time, it might go back to that stage. Yeah, we don't know, but it may go back to basics. So let's see what happens. But look after yourselves. There are so many companies out there. I've mentioned them before. Many companies that are selling gold, silver, and so forth. I would say start investing in some of that, and just prepare. Prepare yourselves. So this is an interesting one, but I'll read the quote again. We have gold because we cannot trust government. They never told us when these banks were collapsing in certain parts of the world. They never said that they sorted out their friends, their billionaire friends, to get their money out, and us Joe Blogs couldn't get our money out. So it's for us to be wise, keep an eye on what the rich are doing, what these banks are saying not to do. When the banks are telling us not to do something, we should do the opposite. Right? Some of them are starting to say, you shouldn't buy gold, but they're buying out the gold. If you do a bit of research, you'll find out that they've been buying gold for the last few years. Yeah, China, India have been buying gold like dirt. Russia been storing up gold like dirt, encouraging their people to buy gold. So, don't rely on just the news from the mainstream media. They're not speaking the truth. But do a bit of research into BRICS, the 5 countries that are leading it: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and then all these other countries, and a lot of African countries are going up in there too. So Africa's going to be all right. Even the UK eventually will be okay, but we're still a bit stranded by the city of London, which we know is governed by the Rothschilds. It's a foreign entity. It's not part of the UK. Do your research, but it's not part of the UK. And same like Washington DC is not a part of the United States of America. It's a foreign land. That's why in the city of London, the Queen, sorry, not the Queen, it's the King now, has to ask for permission to enter the city of London. Do your research. He has to, because he's not sovereign. It's a different. It's a different piece of land. It's a foreign piece of land, which sounds weird. But then look at the police of the City of London. They have a different uniform. Yeah, you see their emblem and that. Yeah, I noticed them when I was at the carnival. I saw the Met Police, and then I saw the City of London Police, and I went up to the police officer. I said, "Hey, you're City of London Police, aren't you?" And he looked at me. He goes, "Yes." I went, okay. But yeah, I'm awake, I'm alert. So yeah, we've got to be observant, alert. But anyway, enough talk. Guys, I hope you enjoyed my quote and a bit of information I've shared with you. Do your own research and look after yourself. But hey, we're heading some phenomenal times. So guys, take care. Stay blessed.